still bringing rain and some windy conditions to parts of Mexico. And here we are toward the end of August, and there are two storms out there, Henri and, well, Grace has just fallen apart. But here we are in southeast Louisiana with no tropical threats, and instead we're talking about the heat. So a little bit of a give and take. We have a lot of heat aside or the tropical storms and hurricanes and things like that. So at least at this stretch, we do have hot weather, of course, at the end of August, and tomorrow another heat advisory issued for a heat index maybe approaching 107 or 108, but at least we're not seeing any sort of tropical threats. We'll get into tropics more in just a second. First, though, it's 92, our high 95 today at New Orleans at the airport, and it's feeling like almost 10 degrees higher than the air temperature. And here are our temperatures at this point, knocked down a little bit over at Homa because of some recent rain, but really we haven't seen a whole lot of widespread rain. Heat indices way into the lower triple digits, and then here's the live radar. And again, our heat index didn't get as high as it we'll say could have today. It wasn't at least 108, 110. It was kind of hovering more around that 104, 105 degree mark. And here's our live radar. A little bit of very small spotty showers possible, but look at this, very easy to spot the big high pressure area with everything kind of spinning around it, and then the big blank spot in the middle with no rain. So that's quite indicative of high pressure, and that will be the case over the next few days for our area, just with some gradual weakening of the high, eventually allowing a little more of a rain chance and maybe a little decrease in temperatures as we get farther into the work week. But for this evening, temperatures will drop through the 80s. We'll say tonight, mainly dry conditions. Anything that we're seeing as far as those tiny spotty showers should be ending as we get towards sunset. And our temperatures, that should have said 79, it will be mostly in the 70s for tonight. Also, tonight we have a full moon, and it is known as a blue moon. And blue moon, of course, doesn't look blue. It's just these kind of ways that you can talk about how often a certain thing happens. So a blue moon can mean the second full moon in 1 month. There's another way to describe it, though, which is a seasonal blue moon, and that would be the third of 4 blue moons that happen in a single season. So as we move through summer, of course, summer ends in the astronomical view at the end of September 20th or so, and we're right now in the third of the 4th, which will come just before summer ends. So it happens every 2 or 3 years, but that's what a blue moon is. So we're taking that definition of it tonight to call it officially a blue moon. Tomorrow, 95 or 96 again for the high, and again another hot day with about a 30% rain chance. But I did want to get into the tropics really quickly. Here is Grace, still some rain, but as the low pressure area moved into Mexico, it weakened very quickly from a Category 3 storm this morning with landfall now to just a remnant low. And pretty typical for that to happen as it moves over the mountains. It will likely continue into the eastern Pacific and would get the name Marty if it does continue that way and pick up steam, and likely will become another tropical storm and hurricane over there. And then here is Henri. And it's kind of weird to be in South Louisiana at the end of August, and it's not we who are looking for a hurricane, it's New England. So it doesn't happen too often, but it does happen. Of course, we remember some notable storms there. Notice that it might be a low-end hurricane or maybe a high-end tropical storm when it makes landfall along Long Island and the coast of Rhode Island and Connecticut early tomorrow, perhaps first part of the day, and then veers off along the coast of Maine. Again, kind of weird to see tropical storm watches and warnings in effect for New England, but that is what we're looking for. And these are the flooding possible rains that they are looking for on Sunday, tomorrow, maybe up to 3 to maybe 5 or 6 inches plus in a few spots, depending on where some of those rain bands are going to be located for tomorrow. And again, New York right in the middle of that moderate flooding rain outlook for tomorrow. So Henri is going to be steered this way, but what we will really be seeing is high pressure. You can see that will be building in and kind of eventually weakening a bit, but likely protecting us as we get into this final part of August from any potential tropical system. So we'll keep an eye out for you, but just nothing coming at us right now. There's a little higher rain chance and a little break in temperatures toward the end of this week.
Sounds good. Thank you. A number of fall festivals have been canceled